So I did an initial recording of this, and it turned out to be 40 minutes, and I think that that's way too long to articulate what's going on. And I'm also trying to make it so that if Tectone reacts to this, it's not going to be a 2 hour adventure. So Techie, if you're watching this, hey buddy, I'm gonna say a few points that I agree slash maybe disagree with. I honestly can't remember if there was something I disagreed with, but I kind of want to keep this a little bit shorter. And again, I'm still on holiday right now. I'm up in Oregon at the moment, so my apologies to y'all. My setup is not the same as it was. So it's very old lady like. You could blame my aunt on that one. So, anyways, so let's go ahead and dive into the recent video that Tectone did, which was about the landscape of creators, the toxic positivity. He titled it "This Has to Stop." And on some points, I do have to agree. But I do want to talk about some main points from that, at least my thoughts, and go from there. So let's go ahead and dive in, right? Actually, before we do that, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. And of course, don't forget to check out Gamer Subs. Use code Tystra for 10% off, baby. That's right. We'll be back home soon so that these videos are a little bit better. Now, toxic positivity is something that I've talked about on this channel, I think, many times, to be honest, whether it's when live streams or one of the videos that I did where somebody from the HSR community got mad at me for having a personal opinion on why I thought that the 2.6 special live stream was absolute dog shit. And honestly, you could fight me on that. I still think that the 2.6 special live stream was dog shit. I don't care what you think about Rappa, but you cannot sit here and tell me that you were perfectly fine with listening to the chirping birds for 10 minutes without bashing your head against the wall. Maybe it was a little bit easier to deal with on the Chinese or Japanese freaking live streams, but the English live stream sucked because of it. I'm just saying. But I digress. I think that a lot of content creators do have the sense of, we got to be overly positive about the games that we play. And I think, as Techie does, that's very disingenuous. And it leads to many things that could potentially hurt your audience, whether it be directly or indirectly. There's people that he points out as content creators that could be, well, not, he pointed out Doro as being an old creator of this, like a hype beast content creator where you have to pay and you'll get what you want, or you have to spend, otherwise you're not going to get what you want. And he even said like Doro's kind of changed his ways, which I do agree with. Doro does change a little bit in this, or he has changed in the last month or two. So I would agree with that. A lot of the hype beast content creators I don't entirely know because I don't like watching them. And the reason being is exactly like with Tectone. I don't like seeing people say that the game is overly amazing when it's absolutely not. And I'm not just talking about when it comes to like Genshin Impact. I'm talking about HSR, I'm talking about Zenless Zone Zero, I'm talking about Wuwa, I'm talking about Nikkei, all the games that I cover. I don't watch content creators that overly hype the games unless it's like an actual hype update. Wuwa's 2.0 special live stream was really, really good. It wasn't like I overhyped it or anything like that, but I thought it was amazing. I thought it was really good with all the changes coming to 2.0. Some people didn't like it. That's whatever. Some people thought it was overtly amazing. I don't care. Have your opinions, and that's perfectly fine. However, I think there is a difference between toxic positivity about a game and then also being positive about the game in your opinion. Now, when it comes to, let's say, the Genshin Impact version 5.3 special live stream, which has been a hot topic as of late that sparked this, is that a lot of creators said it was really good, including myself. I think that 5.3 is going to be really good. Am I saying that you need to spend your money to enjoy it? Absolutely not. When I do my summons, all my summon videos, I try to say, hey, I spend the money so that you don't have to. Some of them I haven't done so recently, and I'm going to get back to that because I think that's a good way for content creators to say, hey, I'm spending this money so that you don't have to, so that you know how bad it can get. Now, I think there is a difference between somebody who is enjoying the update and enjoying the game and somebody who is saying, this game is great, it has no flaws. Because every game has a flaw. Every single game has a flaw. There is not a single perfect game out there. And you want to know why I say that? If it was a perfect game, everybody and their mother would love the game. Everyone. Every gamer would love the game and have no complaints about it. And every single game has its detractors, whether they be constructive or not. There is somebody out there that will hate the game that you like. That being said, I think that toxic positivity and saying that the game is perfect um, can lead to a lot of issues, obviously, and that's what we talked about with toxic positivity. Now, you could say a game is perfect. I think Elden Ring is one of the most perfect games out there. I love Elden Ring. But when people go, oh, well, here's why I hate Elden Ring, I also go, you know what? That's absolutely fair. Not everybody enjoys that part of the game. And if it left that bad of a taste in your mouth and made you hate the game, I can't argue with that. That's your own opinion. However, there's a difference between somebody going, "Oh, well, I hate to dodge in this game. Like the dodging is just so clunky," and me going, "Just get better. Just get better. If you're not gonna get better, don't play the game." You know, like I ain't gonna pull a Saint Totos. No offense, buddy. I love Saint Totos, but telling somebody to quit the game is kind of messed up. But I digress. The whole point is that you should be constructive about the games and be able to take constructive criticism while also saying, yes, even though it has its problems, I still like playing the game. But that also goes for Genshin Impact. And this is where Techie, I will argue. I think that 5.3 is a good update. It's a pretty dang good update. Is it good? Is it the best update ever? No. And I even had to double check myself because I can clickbait at times. I won't lie. I can clickbait. I'm trying to get my bag, baby. I'm trying to get those subs, trying to get those views, all that stuff. I won't lie. But at the same time, I always want to make sure that I'm not lying too much. Like, yeah, I could say like these summons were the best summons ever, but they probably aren't. But when it comes to updates, I usually try to be as honest with my thoughts about updates as possible because I feel like you need to have that honesty. And there's nothing wrong with that honesty. And I think he has a point there. Creators should be able to be honest about them without having to worry about, sponsors deterring away from them. Because you shouldn't. I'm a Hoyo creator and a Shift Up creator because of Nikke. You know, and this is like, yeah, I create the videos and all that stuff. But what I can say is that the videos that I've made has not shed a negative light on me outside of the whole, the community of, Rexcellence, corrective action people, if you know what I mean. Those ones, that video is probably my most disliked video, but it really showed me how many of y'all weirdos are out there. So if you were one of those weirdos out there who want to give Yoo-hoo corrective action, please stay away from my channel. I don't want to deal with you. You're freaking creepy. But I digress. Overall, I think that the point I'm trying to make is that creators should not be afraid to say their honest opinions. Now, there's also a couple points that Techie made when it comes to sponsorships and the KFC glider incident. I'll be frank, when I was, starting out with Genshin Impact, I was a fan of the glider thing. Looking back on it, it's cringe AF. And I will say that content creators should know their worth. But I want to give a shout out to two creators that I've talked to in the past that consistently message me back. They're good people, and I don't think they dislike me in any way because I've talked with them. One of them, Tectone, is not a fan of right now, but I don't care. Like I think he's a good creator in general and very nice, and does some of the exact same, well, not the exact same stuff. Like Tectone goes above and beyond when it comes to smaller creators, but I feel like BranOnline does offer advice to creators who come up to him. And he's welcomed me as a content creator. He's helped me. He's like, gone out of his way to like check stuff. So Brax, if somehow you're watching this, just know, man, love you, buddy. I appreciate all the stuff that you've done to help me out as a creator with as small as I am, because I am a guppy, bro. I'm a tadpole in the CC stuff. But I've been on this, platform doing content creation for a long, long time. But Brax, has been able to help me out in some cases. So big shout out to him. And Ryuku Sensei. Ryuku Sensei just blew up recently. Big shout out to him. Love the guy, and I'm very, very excited to see how far he'll take the hating on gacha games thing, because I think it's funny. But overall, I will say that, creators should be reaching out to know their worth. Whether you're going to Tectone, whether you're going to Brax, whether you're going to bigger content creators. But bigger content creators should also be welcoming to these smaller gacha creators and say, hey, I'm willing to help you out whenever I can. We all know that every content creator is busy, and most of your content is not centered around, collabing with others, which I think that we should see more of that. A great example of collabing with other content creators is Dokkan Battle. I see all the time like creators from the Dokkan Battle scene that I used to actually talk to a lot collabing with each other. Yeah, well, Rhyme Style's not Dokkan Battle anymore, but he used to he collabed with Nanogenics, and that got Nanogenics big. And then Nano and Truth collabed a lot with, and Truth collabed with Goresh, and Diddy Sauce collabs with Nano, and now they're getting my boy Iron Cane in that. So there's a lot of good ways for bigger CCs to work with smaller CCs, and they really need to do that. I think that it can only boost your stocks as a content creator who is bigger, helping out the smaller fry, because those smaller fry, will find people that not only like the small fry content, but they look at you and take me and Brand, for example. I could be like, hey, Brand's cool. I like working with Brand. Or we'll be doing like a collab summon, or we'll play Mario Party. And people are like, wait, they play together? Oh, that's so sick. Maybe we should go watch their content. And it just overall makes it better. So I definitely agree with Tectone. I think that more bigger creators should be willing to collab with smaller creators. Now, that being said, I know me being in the 2,700 margin high, I'm, on the first floor of the gotcha space tower. And then you have, people who are on the 20th floor who are still looking for others. So, or other collabs. So there's that. Now, overall, I think that a lot of Tectone's points made a lot of sense, right? I do think that he's a little bit overtly critical about the 5.3 stuff, because honestly, for me, like maybe it's just I'm blind and I don't follow a lot of the other CCs that are hype beasts. But the only one that I watched before that was kind of a hype beast was Doro, and even then, Doro's changed his content a lot. I don't think Bran is overtly saying you need to spend your money. I think that he's hype about Genshin because he genuinely loves Genshin. And same with me. I do love Genshin. I'm just very critical about the game. I do think, however, that more content creators should be critical about their games. Not just Genshin, but WoWa as well, but ZZZ, but HSR, Nikke, Seven Deadly Sins, Dokkan Battle, any gotcha game that you're a big fan of, don't look at your game with rose tinted glasses, right? And also, when it comes to people like expressing their opinions on a gotcha game, when you do give criticism, make it constructive. A lot of people like to go, I hate this game because I don't like this. And a big example of this was the St. Totas reacting to Vars, which turned into St. Totas and Brax having at it, right? Um, I think that you should be able to articulate your points. If you don't like a game, express why you don't like the game. And if you're wrong, and say, like, somebody goes, hey, actually, there is this system in place. They just, you didn't see it or something like that. Then you're like, you know what? I'll give it another try, see if that helps me, and so on and so forth. Be better. But even after that, if you still don't like it, if you're just like, it's not my thing, then articulate it as, I don't like the combat style. That's just my thing. I like this. Like, oh, I don't like free roaming RPG-esque games like Woowa. I like turn-based RPGs like, Honkai Star Rail. It's very simple. Just say you don't like the combat style. But don't go, oh, well, this game is like this, and this, and then turns out you're wrong, and then you just can admit you're wrong. A great example of admitting you're wrong in some cases is actually EO and Braxophone. They have both many times during conversations with St. Totas said, you know what? I was wrong about this. I may not like the way you went about it, but I am bad at the game. That type of thing. A horrible example, in my opinion, is Gotcha Smack. But Gotcha Smack, I will say, is a very, very smart guy. Very smart. The only thing I don't like is that it feels at times when he has his point and then he's proven wrong in some way, shape, or form, it seems like it's tough to get him to say, you know what, I'm wrong. It's like pulling teeth, right? And I've never had that conversation with Gotcha Smack. I've never, had an opinion that's differing from Gotcha Smack when it comes to the game itself. I just disagree with his execution. I feel like he's gotten into this space where he is all for just going for the name calling. Like, you could disagree, and he's just like, shut up, little pup, sit down. Which is like, it's funny, but come on, man. Like, let them actually, like, talk about the reason why they disagree. You don't have to, like, to me, I feel like you could disagree, but once it starts resulting in a name calling, or if you're just being rude with how you're saying stuff. And this isn't just a gotcha smack. This is also to the people who respond to gotcha smack, like as well under tweets. Like if you go, yeah, you're stupid for thinking this, like then yeah, you absolutely deserve to get your shit pushed in from gotcha smack. But if you're going up there and you're saying, hey, gotcha, you pointed out this and I disagree with this, and here's my reasons why. And then someone like gotcha goes, shut up, little pup, you're wrong, you're stupid. Then it's like, bro, come on. Like that was actually constructive. Come on, man. I don't know. I just feel like we all have our own quirks. Maybe to me, like my brain power is the size of a mushroom, and sometimes what I say just is like, oh, it's a cookie cutter response. It makes sense. It's just how I feel, honestly, as a content creator. So I don't know. There's a bunch of really good things from this video, and I didn't want to go over the entire video, like in the sense of like playing the video in the background and pausing because it just got way too long. So if you agree, or if there's a point that you disagree with, let me know in the comments down below. Would love to hear y'all's opinions. Tectone or any other creator that reacts to this, hi, appreciate you looking at the channel if you do, but probably won't happen because I'm smaller than the average needle in the haystack. So, but anyways, that's gonna be it for today. Love you all to death, and as always, we will catch you in the next video. Please take care and be safe.